Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out. Logging off the gram, all I ever see is ass out. I just made a man's while my ex, he want me back now. When I ride the stick, ooh, you know I'm finna black out. Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out. Dreaming of these bands, gotta work until I pass out. He can't hit the spot, guess I gotta put a map out. I just want the ants, he just wanna blow my back out. I am the one and not the deuce. Some of you niggas got it confused. Neat with the liquor, you keep the juice. Wild, the Mary Jane, keep me in the mood. I seen better days, but I'm pushing through. He loving all my energy, but don't know what to do with it. Motivate him while he letting loose in it. My body don't tell me what to do with it. Fuck? Yeah. Suck Pasero on my Zoes. My mule, I keep it low. This time I won't drop none of my hoes. I feel like I'm numb a little bit with the love shit. I ain't with none of the dumb shit. I be talking fast, keep up, bitch. I'm my East Coast shit when I bust it. I ain't never gonna listen to these broke niggas. You ain't serious about me, you a joke, nigga. I don't care about the D, I just care about the M. Double C's on my chest, D&G when I step out. Ooh, running it up, that's on everything. Asian bitch, we in another lane. My heart beating off Novocaine, I'm numb again. Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out. Logging off the gram, all I ever see is ass out. I just made a man's while my ex, he want me back now. When I ride the stick, ooh, you know I'm finna black out. Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out. Dreaming of these bands, gotta work until I pass out. He can't the spot, guess I gotta put a map out. I just want the ends, he just wanna blow my back out.
First Getting Ready With Me ever, and I am showcasing all of my new samples from my next launch, spring and summer, and I am super excited for you guys to see what I have in store. Yes, I've been playing, but I've been working really hard, and I want you guys to know the heat is definitely coming.
Millions of dollars worth of cocaine confiscated on I-10 in Mobile County. Two women, one from Florida and one from California, face drug trafficking charges. Mobile County deputies say they stopped Melissa Dufour and Racquelle Anteola on the interstate. The women reportedly told them they were on their way to Atlanta from Houston. A narcotics canine signaled drugs in their SUV, and when deputies searched it, they reportedly found hidden traps in the floorboard and side walls with 217 pounds of cocaine worth $2.1 million. Both of those women are in Metro Jail.
What's the deal, my people? Thank you for joining me in my channel, Panama's OG Truth. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here with me right now. And today we're gonna be covering two young ladies, Melissa Dufour and Racquelle Anteola. I believe I'm saying the name right, and if I'm not, I apologize. But these two young ladies, they had a lot going for themselves. Both of them entrepreneurs. I believe that Melissa Dufour, she was into clothing, fashion. She had her own sportswear, so she was doing her thing. And Racquelle Anteola, I believe that she was a songwriter, a singer. She's collaborated with numerous artists, from Tank to 2 Chainz, and the list goes on and on and on. So what I'm trying to say is, these young ladies, they were doing things with themselves. All right. Now this is the issue right here. They're both best friends. And from what I see and what's being reported on the media, that they were also into other things besides, being entrepreneurs legally, other things besides being social influencers legally. They were also into moving some weight. And when I say some weight, I'm talking about that white powder, or as they call it, that nose candy, as we call it, cocaína. And this is some serious shit, because we're not talking about an 8-ball. We're not talking about a couple of ounces. We're talking about over 200 pounds of raw cocaína. To be exact, 217 pounds of the powder. And this is estimated 2 million, really 2.1 million in the streets. So this is a sizable amount of cocaine. Like I said, it's not bullshit, 8-ball, this is some serious shit. So what I'm gonna say, somebody is pissed off, all right? Because I strongly doubt that these two young ladies were just doing this on their own. And they might be some dope moving ass females. I mean, Anything is possible, but I strongly doubt it. Because from what I'm reading is, they got pulled over in Alabama, and when they got pulled over for whatever reason, and look, I'm gonna explain something to y'all, all right? I'll never forget one time, this is probably 10 years ago. We were traveling, and we got pulled over. And I was in a black Escalade, black tinted windows, and as soon as they pulled us over, they started questioning my wife, and they started questioning me. And both officers were asking questions at the same time, and they were closely paying attention to see if what we were saying, me and my wife, was the truth. In other words, were we collaborating the same story? And let me explain why I say that. Because when they ask you these questions, and they pull you over on the side of the highway, and they start asking you these questions, all it takes is one person to say something different from your other partner. And that's when they start, okay, one of them is saying one thing, the other one saying another thing. Some line is going on, something ain't right. Let's get to it. And they start shooting more questions. They pull you out the car, they have one over there, they have the other one over there, and they start firing questions left and right. And they're paying attention to every word that comes out of your mouth. They're paying attention to your demeanor, your body language. So if you start, literally sweating, if you start getting a little bit fidgety, if you start stuttering, these are all signs that these state troopers look for. They're trained, their eye, to look at body language, every word that comes out of your mouth. They closely are analyzing it and they're processing this. So this is what happened with these two young ladies. They ended up calling a canine unit. And you already know, when that dog comes up, if you don't have your shit down packed, and like I said, there's ways to do it, but we're not gonna get into that. If you don't have your shit down packed, them dogs will smell it. They will smell it. And a lot of people think that, if I stash it in a trap. If you don't know what a trap is a false compartment that's been selectively outfitted where you can stash drugs, money, or guns, or anything that's illegal, anything that you don't want to be found if you get pulled over by the authorities. And this is something that's been going on for years. It's nothing new. Like I said, it's an elaborate scheme. You could do it in different ways, different parts of the vehicle. But all I'm saying is, once that dog scratches on that vehicle, is alerting his handler, the canine police, that you have an illegal substance in your vehicle. And once that happens, they're gonna dismantle that vehicle to the T, inch by inch. And if you have anything in there, they're gonna find it. And they had traps on the side of the vehicle. They had traps on the dashboard. They had traps in between the seats on the console. They had traps everywhere that you can imagine. So that lets me know that this is an elaborate scheme. This is something that I guarantee you that ain't the first time that they have done. All right. Now, where they fucked up at, you rehearse what you gonna say if you get pulled over. All right. If you don't know what the fuck is going on, if you don't know the rules to the game, don't play it. And obviously these young ladies, they didn't have their story together. Because like I said, one was saying one thing, the other one was saying another thing. They picked up on that shit, and here they are right now. So they go from being entrepreneurs, they go from having, from what I see, they were doing pretty good. Now they go to being locked up. And it don't stop right there, y'all. Okay, like I said, they were doing this for somebody. So you have somebody above them, and probably numerous people up the chain that they were moving this dope from. Okay? And when you lose that type of dope, over $2 million worth of dope, like I said, somebody is fucking hot. Somebody's pissed off. And I'm willing to bet my left nutsack, okay? I'm willing to bet my left nutsack. These two young ladies are gonna give up whoever they're moving the dope for. I mean, you can look at these two young ladies, and I might be wrong. Time will tell. But they're pretty much immersed in a social lifestyle.
Who died and made you flawless? Thank God he gave you all this. No school with all these knowledge. When did you drop out of college?
Okay, they like to go out there and wine and dine. They like to be seen. They're attractive young ladies. They're doing their thing. So I strongly doubt it that they're gonna sit there and say, you know what? That's my dope. I was moving it. Handle your business. I strongly doubt that. Like I said, some of the most hardcore so-called G's end up ratting, end up running their mouth because they can't handle it. So I don't see no difference with these two young ladies. Like I said, I bet my left nutsack they're gonna give up who they're moving this dope for. Who they got it from, who they bringing it to, they're gonna give up the whole fucking lick. I mean, it is what it is. So not only are they gonna give up who they got the dope for, or who they bringing it, or who they moving it from, you know, now they're gonna have to change their identities, you know, because I guarantee you that once that DA gives them the deal, a slap in the hand, they'll do a little bit of time, but they're not gonna throw their life away. Like I said, they gotta cut a deal with the DA. That's the way this shit goes. They ain't no different. Like I said, man, they're social, you know, influencers, you know, they're pretty girls. So like I said, I don't see these girls, you know, sitting there keeping their mouth shut. You know, I don't see that. And it's sad because it's all about being greedy. They had their thing going. Like I said, one was a songwriter, beautiful voice. The other one, she had her own clothing line, her own sportswear. She was doing things, you know, doing motivational speaking. So they were doing their thing. You know, they were getting ahead. Obviously not fast enough because they were moving that weight. And like I said, it's sad, man. It really is. It really is. Because at the end of the day, you know, a lot of times things don't happen as fast as we want them to. And we get desperate and we do stupid moves. In case of these two young ladies. And like I said, it's sad. It really is. But let this be a cautionary tale. You decide to do certain things for a quick buck, you might get away with it 3-4 times. But it's like when you shoot dice. It's called the law of average. Eventually, you will crap out. That's just the fact of life. They probably got away with it, let's say 6-7 times. Here comes the 8th time, you know, and boom. One little fuck up, they get pulled over. You know, it could have been they were over the speed limit. It could have been they got over on a lane and they didn't put the signal light. There ain't no telling. Those state troopers, they're involved in a drug task force. They sit on the side of the highway and they look at every vehicle that passes by. And if there's the smallest little thing that catches their attention, they're pulling your ass over. Especially if it's a corridor that's known for interstate dope trafficking. That's just the way this shit is, man. So you gotta know the rules and regulations if you want to get in this game. And a lot of people, they don't know the rules and regulations. And like I said, I don't see these girls, like I said, man, you know, being too entrenched in his life. I think somebody, you know, tapped into them and said, you know, y'all can make easy money doing this shit. You know, it's real easy. You girls are pretty girls. Y'all can fly under the radar. But, you know, it ain't that easy, man. Like I said, you got to know what the fuck you're doing. Now they're in a predicament where they're locked up and they're going to do some serious time if they don't help the prosecution. If they don't help the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency. So, like I said, I'm willing to bet they will be talking. They will give up their supplier. They will give up the person that they're bringing the dope to. So, this right here, man, like I said, man, it goes from living the good life to a nightmare. Let this be a cautionary tale. What looks good, what is always easy, it ain't always good. And this is a prime example, y'all. I don't wish no bad to these young ladies. This is a fact of life. Like I said, you might think that you're getting away with it, but you gotta think with this. Is it worth the consequences? Is it worth it? I mean, they're done. Either way, they're done. You know, they give up whoever they want to give up. They'll never be able to go back to this lifestyle. They better not even be on social media no more. Because like I said, somebody out there is pissed off behind this dope getting caught up. So, let's see what happens. Like I said, unfortunate situation. All I can say is let this be a lesson. All right? Don't think the shit is sweet out here. Because believe me when I tell you, easy money ain't always good money. If you guys have anybody that you want me to cover, anybody from your hood, anybody that you feel that I need to cover, man, drop the name and tell me why you want me to cover this person. That's all I can do, man. I appreciate this platform. If you like what I say, please hit that like. The more you hit that like, the more I can circulate it, the more I can do with this. I appreciate y'all. Much love and God bless. To the next one, Panama's OG Truth.
Passion for being a fashion designer, you know what I'm saying, and following what I really love to do. Second, I would say being a go-getter.
I had to really take a leap of faith when my back was against the wall.